Good day, folks. This is Judy up here at Green Pastures Farm in central Missouri on a beautiful July evening. We're approaching the middle of July, and we really got a welcome prayer answered. We've been praying for rain and wishing for rain, doing the rain dance, everything else, and it did pay off. I tell you, people, you can plan for rain, but you also got to plan for no rain. And so that's what we've been doing, planning for basically no rain. And we put all the herd together, which gives us more recovery period. And we've got, I think there's 370 head coming up this road at us. And these are, baby calves, yearlings, bulls, steers, cows. There's some yearling heifers in there. Just a whole host of things. And where's 160? There she is. 160 is the lead cow. There you are, hon. You go on in there with that young bull over there. So we've got a ribbon tied across the road here, and there's a long lane right through that gate there. It's going on to some really high quality feed. We've got a ridge laid down over here that was grazed about close to 55, 60 days ago. And it's just gorgeous. It's just unbelievable gorgeous. So these cattle are in for a treat. They don't know it yet. Because what they're going into right there was where we had the flood. We still had the older bulls with the sheep in there. And so that's not recovered. And they're kind of complaining, like, what are you doing putting this in here? But we're going to walk them to the back of this. I want to stay up here on the road until we get them all in. Because if I don't, somebody's going to pop up over this hill. And I want to make sure I can block traffic. We're pretty fortunate on this road. Nobody lives on it. It is a throughput. I mean, it's a shortcut. People cut through here. And it is a gravel road. It's about 2 miles long, and it connects Blacktop with, there's some people who live back in the country over there, but nobody actually lives on this road, which is kind of cool. There are still a few wilderness areas left in central Missouri, if you want to call it that. But we got 1 5/8 inch of rain last night, or this morning, I'm sorry. It came in 3 hours, and it came hard, but been looking in the pastures, and you can already tell that the grass is greening up. It was kind of brown, and so what I did is I actually stopped. I clipped about 180 acres, and I stopped because I got concerned, and I'd rather have tall dead grass than no grass. And so this is one that we clipped. I'll show you what it looks like now. And it's just beautiful out there. And with that rain we got now, that's all going to grow back. But I didn't know that. I was taking a gamble. So I stopped, and we've got the majority of our farm has not been clipped, and we may not clip it. If we don't get any more rain, you got to be careful. I'd rather have some feed out there than have it all mowed on the ground. We had a new calf that we didn't get tagged last night. And the mother wouldn't go to it, so we sorted her out, and we put her in a hot wire pen down there, her and a steer, so she's not by herself. And when the cattle drive is done, we'll close the gate that goes onto the road down here, and I would say probably within 30 minutes, boy, the cows are just hollering. They're not going to go on down that lane until I take the four-wheeler and lead them. It's okay, girls. Go on down that lane. I don't see Isaac and Ben yet, which means they've got some little ones that they're tending to. There's 91 babies in here so far. And so it's kind of like, that old advertisement you saw, those old ranchers herding cats. And it was a tough job, and all the guys had scratches all over their cheeks from herding cats. Well, herding a bunch of baby calves is just about the same way. You really got to be on your toes. But we made a list of the last 8 that were born. We found them all except for the one that doesn't have a tag in it. So we got all of them in here. And the boys are making sure they're coming up the back there. They're making darn sure that those babies don't turn around, run back to the last place they saw Mama. We've actually got cows coming out of this gate now. Come on, girls. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to set this thing. The boys are close enough now. I'm going to start my foiler up. I'm going to lead them down the road here. Get it to neutral. There we go. So it's going to be a little, you know, it's got vertical. Just hold on. I'm going to go through this gate. And I'm going to lead it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There is some beautiful forage down here. If I can get over this tape. It's a beautiful thing about my deal. Look at that. It pushes the wire down. See that bar there on the front? I don't have to get off. All right, girls, let's go. My goodness, look at that. Come on, girls, let's go. Come on, let's go. You don't want to go rushing into them, especially with that bar on the front. You'll smack one of them and bruise them. You don't want to bruise your cows. They're all so anxious. The young bulls have got there's cows in heat in here. I know. Yeah, you're not very happy right now. It's okay. I promise you, I'm taking you to the promised land. Let me get out in front. Come on, girls. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Well, they're ready to go now. I'm going to shift into a higher gear so I can stay in front of them. Woo! Yeah! So this has all been grazed. And they're not interested in grazing it. Got sheep smell all over it. Sheep have walked on it. They're not going to eat this, but you wait till you see what they're going into. It is a pretty piece of grass. That's what I love about polywire and polybraid. Not so much polywire, polybraid, and the O'Brien step-in post. You can put in a lane like this in about the time it takes to talk about it, and you can move cattle through a farm that's already been grazed. Put them in a lane. They're not going to hurt it. They're not going to graze it. It's got smell all over it. Okay? And we're going to take them to... Oh, look at that. Here they come. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Oh, they are happy now. They're moving. About another half a mile, you'll be there. Woo! Yeah! Oh, it's a beautiful evening. Makes it more beautiful. We got a 1 5/8. Well, the radio station for our address said we got 2 inches, but our rain gauge said 1 5/8. So I guess we'll split the difference with them. We'll say we got 1 3/4. Our rain gauge has lied before. I had a bucket set out here this spring, and the bucket had 3.5 inches in it, and our rain gauge had, I think it was 1 inch. So I don't think that bucket was lying. Come on, girls, let's go. Come on, you're almost there. You're almost to heaven. Grass heaven. Come on, you're almost there. Got to go down one more hill. Yep, grass heaven. We catch some warm days. We're gonna get Isaac and Ben and we're gonna fire that dude up. We got a whole pile of logs across the road. Do some milling here. When it's 100 degrees though, you don't feel like milling. That's more cool weather type stuff. Woo! Boys, they're coming now. I'm gonna get up out of this hill because they're gonna come charging down behind me. Get out of the way. Cows are so powerful. They really are. They're powerful critters. We're getting some animal impact now. Yep, there we go. Woo! Even the little guys, though, the little baby calves, they get onto this pretty darn quick. And, you know, they fall in and they make the move. Boy, the cattle just, I don't know if I've seen them look this good. This year, anyway, they are just fat. Slick. You got oily hides on them. They are something else. You know, we talk about, you know, there's a lot of talk today about food security. Folks, if you got the inkling and this is something you think you might want to do, there's nothing like raising your own food. And especially in a sustainable, regenerative manner where you're not burning a lot of fuel. I mean, I've got this ATV. It burns about 2 to 3 gallons a week. But it's not like I'm driving a 200 horsepower engine out here, something that's sucking down 10 gallons an hour. I'm just using the sunlight. So we're taking the sunlight. It's captured out on this clover and this forage out here. I'm going to show you in a minute. It's all captured in the sunlight, and the animals are eating this. And when they eat it, of course, they're converting this stuff that is, you might say, not fit for human consumption, forage, because we're not a ruminant. We don't have multiple guts that can break this stuff down. These animals do. And there's some really good forage in here. The Korean Lespedeza and the clover. I mean, look at this. I told you. It's so thick out here you can't see the baby calves. You know, this is what unrolling hay can do for you. We had the great Judy baling roller on this for about 3 winters in a row. And this farm used to be so poor, a rabbit had to pack his lunch to make it across it. Put anything out. Broom sedge and cedars and moss. You see, the cows are all still bawling. And the reason they're bawling, they haven't seen Junior since we started the cattle drive. But some of the cows walk, and they just keep up with their calves better. But I guarantee you the boys are coming down that hill. They probably got 50 or 60 new ones. But there's a couple slower cows at the very back, and that's worth gold. When you've got some older cows that are slower, they'll stay with those babies. And the babies adopt them things like their mama, and they'll lead them right up here to their mothers. But look at the grass. Folks, it's dry. Here it was. This was not grown with the rain we had this morning. This forage you're looking at was grown with management. And time, rest, recovery, not coming back until it's fully recovered. Cows are just going to have a heyday in here. But look at that heifer. She is fat. My goodness. But you can, you can look at your calves, and you can tell how well your cattle are doing. The cows themselves. Look at that calf. You talk about a beaut. That's a bull calf, and you can count the muscles on. Look at that. He's just a beautiful animal. Absolutely beautiful. There's about 80 or 90 more in here just like it. Somebody said the other day, said, why don't you sell some of those? Well, we do. We sell livestock every month, all year long. That's how we make our living. Right now, it seems like there's a lot of them out here. There is, because they're having babies. You don't want to sell a calf like that. It's still sucking. Got to get them old enough that they can be without mother, which is usually, 7, 8 months. We don't wean the heifer calves. We let the mothers wean them. And the actual bull calves, now that every single bull in here comes out in March 1st. That's 6 to 7 months and older, because we don't want them breeding back the cows starting in March, April, May, June, because now you're going to be looking at January, February, March calving. You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be doing that. That's a miserable thing to be in. Calving when you got cold weather and snow. You just don't do that. Did you think the cows are going to put some carbon on the ground here tonight? Look at this. Just in the process of walking over this and eating, they're going to trample, I don't know, 40% probably on the ground. Around 40%. They're starting to get a little quieter. There's still a lot of calves unaccounted for by the mommies. They're looking for them. I noticed one thing about the babies. They always go after the sprouts. This is a young bull calf, 14. See, he's eating that, that's honey locust. That's a thorn tree. Don't tell him it's a thorn tree. Look at him. He's munching that down. Ben and Isaac are so awesome. They're going down to check that creek crossing. I didn't tell them to do that. You know why they're going down there? We got 1 5/8 inches today, and there were some creeks in here that were rolling. They're going to double check their creek crossing to make sure that rain we got this morning didn't wash out their post. They're going to make some awful good operators. Whatever they decide to do, they're going to have a wonderful opportunity in front of them. Well, look at the soil of life out here when I walk. Look at it. See it? It's just everywhere. There's nymphs. Oh, goodness, look at this. Some of those are katydids. Golly, old 14, just go ahead and pose for us. Oh, look at this. Look, where'd you go? There you are. Ladybugs. Why do we have all this life around us? Well, we're not spraying. Everywhere we drove today, we made a trip and delivered some heifers to one of our customers, and it was in conventional row cropping area, and we just smelled glyphosate the whole trip. I mean, I'm glad I don't live around that stuff. It just gets old smelling that stuff. It stinks. I like this smell. Ooh, look at that. Man. I gotta get on this side of her. It's kind of hard when the sun's in your eyes. Let's go this way. All right, honey. Folks, that was grown with solar energy. That animal was grown with solar energy. Not in a test tube. That is not Impossible Burger. That's real burger. Grown by sunlight and the way this earth has been functioning for tens of thousands of years, ruminants eating forage, placing carbon on the land, producing healthy food at the same time, healing the water cycle, manure and fertilizing, the manure and the urine they're leaving behind, and the wildlife gets to use our farm 99% of the time. That's because we're moving them. So the wildlife, they were here probably this morning before we turned these animals in here, and now the cows get a crack at it. Everybody says that the ruminants, the cows are destroying the earth. No, they're not. We can't heal the earth without them, period. We can't reverse desertification. We got to have this tool right here. And it's called the ruminant. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I just want y'all to remember one thing. If you want food security and you want to feed your family, get you a piece of ground, get you some animals, and get out here and trample some carbon on the land, and you can be here. You can do exactly what I'm doing right here. And you don't have to break the bank to do it. This is Greg Judy signing off. We're going to see y'all down the road.